Hey, good Tuesday evening, everyone. This is State Representative Brad Halbrook, along with Dan Calkins, the treasurer of the Illinois Freedom Caucus, and Colin Mosley, the state director of the Illinois Freedom Caucus. Hopefully, we are live and in future demand here all across the fruited plain on multiple social media platforms known as Facebook and YouTube. Gentlemen, welcome to tonight's Illinois Freedom Caucus live town hall. Representative Calkins, how
Hey,
are
bud.
you?
Doing great. Recovering from a really good weekend. We had a great time. Weather was really, really good. Spent a couple days over at the fairgrounds in Springfield racing motorcycles. Had a fairly successful event. And then yesterday we did a big parade up in Bloomington, Labor Day parade with the Republican candidates. And of course, Regan Deering walked with us. We had a great day. So it's really good to be with you. And we look forward to what we've got in store here for everybody tonight.
Excellent. And Colin Mosley, the state director, what's new from state director duties in the Freedom Caucus?
Well, I had a wonderful Labor Day weekend in Wisconsin with my family, and I'll tell you what, it was refreshing to be in a state where the gas tax was about 40% lower, and the taxes and the prices of all public goods were lower. And you have to really, really want to live in Illinois to stay. So thankful for that time with my family, and happy to be back in the swing of things. Of course, today kicking off petition season. So
Exactly. And
Colin,
guys, we're trying to add the leader of the Freedom Caucus here, Representative Chris Miller, and I think he is traversing all across his new district and part of the old, and he's having trouble finding maybe a good connection. So I'm not sure if we're going to get Chris on here eventually or not. But yeah, we had a great parade in the 107 yesterday. Pana, boy, Dan, probably outside. I've not been to the Bloomington or McLean County or even the Decatur parade, but it was a huge parade. There's been estimates of 10 to 20,000 people. I don't know. I mean, they were 6 and 8 plus deep on both sides of the road in about a mile-long parade route. It was just an unbelievable day. Wasn't too hot. Just a nice August day or September day in Pana. So we had a great group of volunteers, and yeah, it was just a good day. So happy to have been there, and thanks to all of our volunteers that came out and helped us walk in the parades so far all this summer, and especially yesterday as we were winding summer down here pretty fast. So anyhow, with that, I'm not finding Chris anywhere. We're going to go right to our slide set, ladies and gentlemen, as we dive into this relentless pursuit of truth, logic, and common sense. And again, welcome. Today is kind of the first day. If you're seeing this live Tuesday night, this is the first day of petition signature season. And Dan and Colin, help us circulate. What do we got here?
well, as every 2 years, in the House, we go through this, and today is kickoff day. We have our candidates are out circulating petitions. I think, Colin, it's 600 signatures for a state rep this year.
yeah, somewhere right in there.
Well, I think a minimum of 500, and
500. Okay.
you can max out at 1,500 for
Right.
the state.
We want to get
reps.
1,000 for sure.
Yep.
Right, and I think the State Board of Elections just quits counting at about 1,500. I mean, you can turn in 5,000 signatures if you want to do that.
Right.
But if you're wanting to help, which we all need help getting our petitions circulated, today every one of us that's running has their petitions online. You can download that. There's instructions, and I think we're going to go through that. Are we not, Brad?
Yeah, there'll be some instructions and some do's and don'ts that we'll get into here momentarily, Dan. Yep.
Yeah. So please help us. Help us get our petitions out there. Walk your precinct, walk your neighborhood. Take your clipboard with you when you go out and about. And let's get this wrapped up in the next couple of weeks.
Right, exactly. And guys, I'm going to try to bring Chris on here. Hopefully, we'll see what happens. Hey, there's Chris Miller, leader of the Illinois Freedom Caucus. Can you hear us, Chris?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we sure can. Welcome. We were just getting
Okay.
into the discussion about petition seasons, Chris, and I know you're trying to get that accomplished also. We're just going to kind of have a little discussion here. Hey, everyone, this not only applies to state reps, but it will apply also to some state senators. They're on a staggered term, so there could be some state senators on a 2-year term also, but for the most part, they have 4-year terms. But really more to a local level. This is the time if you want to be a precinct committeeman, if you want to be an elected precinct committeeman, this is the time. Guys, I think they only have to have 10 signatures. And then, some county board members that are on the ballot and some county-wide offices, along with U.S. congressmen and women and some U.S. senators also have to collect signatures. And if you have any questions, I guess just go directly to their websites, their political websites, and they should have the answers there for you. All right, next slide. So here's how to help.
Right. Well, I'll jump in here, Brad. And I mean, there is no way to overstate the importance of petition passing volunteers. This is one of the most grassroots things that there is in a campaign. You just got to have them. And so we want to make sure that you're equipped for this experience. So again, you got to be a U.S. citizen. You got to be 18 years of age. Now, this is interesting, though. 18 years of age on or before the November election day. So if you're 17 years old right now, but you'll be 18 before the election, you can pass a petition for candidates.
Right.
Of course, you got to make sure people are registered voters in Illinois. And, of course, if they live in the district that they are signing for, and you have to witness every signature.
Right. Yeah, that's really important. You have to witness it. So probably you wouldn't want to leave it at the local convenience store, Dan, and just let somebody just to kind of come and go to it, right? You want to make sure that whoever has the petition is witnessing every signature that's being collected.
No, that's very important. We've had times in the past where somebody left a clipboard with a couple of petitions on it in a beauty parlor, salon, or barbershop. Or at a friend's place of business, and it just kind of people coming and going would sign the petition. But at the very bottom, the petition person passing the petition has to attest and swear that they saw every signature that went on that page. So it's very, very important. It's not that hard to do. And if our precinct committee people each went out and they're getting back on the ballot again, they need 10 signatures. That's 10 signatures for your state rep.
Right.
And hopefully you're going to get more than 10, so you can fill up 20 or 30 signatures for your state rep. That goes a long way. That goes a long way in helping us get our guys back and gals back on the ballot.
Right. And one thing that each campaign can offer, depending on how they're set up, but we can provide a paper list of registered voters in a particular area, a precinct or a town or a particular area, or electronic list that's on a phone app. Those would be available most generally. That's a pretty easy way. And so that way, depending on, or regardless of wherever you are, you could just open up the electronic app on your phone, and there'll be a list there and you can start walking. Hey, Chris, is there any harm in collecting signatures at a football game or some local community event? I know Broomcorn Festival is coming up in Arcola here pretty quick. There'll be thousands of people there. What would you recommend to folks that want to help us collect signatures at some of those kind of events?
No, I think it's a great place to get a lot of signatures in a short amount of time. Sometimes, it takes a lot longer to go door to door and that type of thing, even though I don't want to diminish going door to door. It's a good opportunity to meet people. But I know, for example, that there's a high school football game someplace every Friday night. And, the only thing that I would caution you is to use some discretion when you're going to a game, because most of the people are there to watch the game and aren't really that interested in signing your petition. So if you do, go early, maybe even at halftime, but don't try not to harass people too bad to get them to sign your petition.
just be polite and courteous,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
and just make sure, I think to the point here on this slide is make sure they are registered to vote, and also try to drill in to make sure they are in your respective district. And we just went through this redistricting that's barely 8-9 months old now, the new maps that we're all serving under. So people may not know exactly where they live in relationship to your new district or to our new district. So we just can kind of make sure we have a map or a way to helpfully identify them where they are. Yep. All right, moving on, guys. Here's what not to do. Not what to do. Anybody want to jump in on some of these 3 or 4 bullet points?
Well, I
Sure,
think
I
these
can.
are pretty.
Oh, go ahead, Dan.
No, well, I'm just going to say these are really very self-explanatory. You know, I mean, you have, if you're circulating petitions for one of our Republican candidates, you cannot circulate a petition for a Democrat candidate, even in a different race. So, if you're going to circulate a petition for a Republican candidate, which we hope you're going to do if you're watching this, you can circulate petitions for more than one candidate, but they have to be from the Republican Party. So you can circulate a petition for the state's attorney, for the Senate, or for the House, for a congressperson. I mean, you can have more than one petition, but they all have to be from the same party. So please help us circulate our Republican candidates' petitions. It's something that will go a long way in helping get our candidates on the ballot for sure.
Hey, guys, another question I get from time to time is you're at a door or you meet somebody along the street or an event. And they say, hey, I have a family member that's not home yet. Can I go ahead and sign for that family member or a friend? And the react to that should be, no, they have to be there, right? They can't take the petition out of your site, and everybody has to be in front of the person circulating. So that's fairly simple and straightforward, but that's really an important one to make sure that everybody is present at the time of signing. Yeah. Colin, anything to add here?
Nope.
All right.
Kind
Next slide.
of opens the door for a joke, but we'll skip over that.
All right. Here's what we do. Here's what we do when we're finished. Okay. We'll say, so you've got your sheets filled out. Typically on our petitions, we'll have the top portion, all the blanks or whatever, they'll all be all filled out, but there's a bottom portion that has to be signed and notarized. And this is really important, guys. This is as important, if not more important, than all the stuff in the middle and on the top. Anybody want to elaborate?
Absolutely. I mean,
this?
You've got to, when this is all said and done, there's nothing more disappointing than having filled a petition full of 10, 15, 20 signatures and then screwing up the bottom part, and it's no good. You got to go find them again.
Right.
So, when you finish your petition and if you reach a point where you feel like you're done, even if your sheet is not full, we'll still take it. Even if there's only 5 names on it, we'll take it. You got to find a notary public, sign it as a circulator, and then at the base of your instruction sheet, there will be a mailing address for whatever candidate's committee you're working for. And also on this slide, if you're interested in circulating any petitions for the Freedom Caucus, please email us, let us know. We'll get you the information.
Right. Hey, and guys, one important thing here, there's a place on the bottom of that page for a page number. And let's just caution everybody, do not fill that out. Leave the page number blank, and that will be done by the campaign when they put all these petition pages together. That becomes a part of the packet. That'll be the thing that will be done just prior to finishing them up, is the numbers will be all pages. So please do not number your pages when you turn them in. That will be done at the end with the campaign.
Yeah, and if you're in Macon County and you need to get your petitions notarized, please, 715 West in Bowdoin, probably 9 to 4:30 every weekday.
Okay.
Our chief of staff, Missy, is a notary.
Okay.
And you want to bring your petitions in here. She'll watch you sign them and notarize your signature. And you can leave them here, and I'll make sure to get them to the right people. Right. So that's something you can do here in Macon County.
Right, and that's there seems to be kind of less and less notaries around. I don't know why. Maybe people just don't keep up the filing thing, a filing fee every 5 years or so. But most banks or law offices, without a doubt, will have somebody there. But whatever's convenient for each individual to find somebody to notarize them. But that is an important part of this. Guys, anything else on this slide before we move to the next one? All right. So big press release went out last week. This was a call from the Freedom Caucus to establish a rule to where teacher union money would not flow into entities.
This is something that is, I think, drawing a considerable amount of attention all across the country. Parents are fighting for their rights when they shouldn't have to. Kids are being taken advantage of. Our schools are not producing qualified graduates, and the culprit is the teachers union, a very powerful. They collect dues from every teacher, and they take that money, a portion of that money, and they put it into their political action fund, their PAC, and then they dole it out to key political, elected officials, who then are in a position to block a lot of these reforms that we desperately need. Not just in Illinois, but we are focused on Illinois here in the Freedom Caucus. And I'm hopefully this will ring a bell. We sent this letter to the Illinois Republican Party, and hopefully they'll take this to heart. We can no longer afford to allow this PAC money to ruin public education. And I'm not blaming the teachers. I think the teachers do their best with what they have. They're very conscientious. They're working in some very, very difficult situations. And unfortunately, in Illinois, our state General Assembly will mandate just all kinds of things that they have to teach and ways that they have to teach that it's not producing the results. And so this is the purpose of our letter, asking that Republicans in Illinois, elected officials, stop taking PAC money from the education sector. We'll see how it goes.
Right. And Chris or Colin, we've got a lot of great teachers, but their lobby and interest in Springfield is controlling the agenda. It's not the rank and file teachers, in my view, out here that are trying to teach our kids, but I think they're being hamstrung and dictated to by the legislative efforts in Springfield. Many states, we've talked about this all spring and summer, many states are adding and growing their school choice programs. And with the Invest in Kids program in Illinois, it's going the exact opposite way. And people know that everybody knows that competition makes us all better. Everybody gets better with competition. And I think this is a bold move. Chris, Colin, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I think it's important for everybody to understand that this is not an indictment against our teachers. This is totally an indictment against the radical left that's using the teachers union collectively throughout our nation to destroy public education and to introduce a woke agenda to indoctrinate our kids, to enable them to try to put a chasm between the children and their parents. And all these things are intentionally done. And I don't know what the end game is, but I do know just in a practical way that the end result is they're indoctrinating the kids into a radical left social agenda. And that's one of the reasons why we're encouraging our people not to take their money, because at the end of the day, you look at the test scores. Like I say, this is not an indictment against the teachers. This is an indictment against an organization that's only perpetuating a radical left social agenda and poisoning our kids.
Yeah, exactly. All right, guys, let's move on. We got a couple of big events coming up. Dinesh D'Souza coming to Effingham in about 3.5, 4 weeks on Friday night, September 29th. Colin, they can go to IllinoisFreedomCaucus.org/events. There's an online application there, or scan this QR code. Guys, it's going to be a great night. This is Dinesh is returning to Illinois or Central Illinois after a 2-year absence. We had him in Arthur just about 2 years ago this month. And so he's graciously accepted to come back. So this is going to be a great opportunity to come out.
This is amazing. I mean, here we are in Effingham, Illinois, and we have a national hero, somebody that is researched, studied, and written extensively and produced now a couple of movies that have just been overwhelmingly successful. And he's willing to come here. I mean, what a great coup for us.
And yet another documentary that's coming out sometime in October. So if you will be at this event, you're going to hear about that firsthand. And so, guys, here's our final slide next to the final slide. So, guys, we got a big town hall coming up in Southern Illinois, and right after that event will be over the Dinesh event, be the following week. Gentlemen, jump in here with thoughts about these town halls in Marion.
Well, these town halls have been so successful across the state this summer and early fall because people are hungry for something to be excited about. So, on the town halls that I've been a part of with the Freedom Caucus across northern and north central Illinois, people have been starving for this information to get excited about. So if you're in Southern Illinois around the Marion and Williamson County area, come out and hear some truth, logic, and common sense about the state of your Illinois government.
Exactly. And guys, as we wind this down, here's where you can find us, IllinoisFreedomCaucus.org. You can contribute to our effort there also. And again, if you want to find out more information about each one of us, you can just do an internet search for each one of ours name. And with that, let's just kind of do a round robin closeout real quick. Representative Miller, you got on a little bit late, but we'll let you kick it off with a kind of a closing comment or two.
Okay. Well, thanks for joining us this evening. All the things that we talked about today are extremely important, so I would encourage you to get informed and stay engaged, and we'll look forward to catching up with you again down the road.
Exactly. Colin, any thoughts?
I just want to say that we hope we see you out on the petition signing trail. Just a word of caution, if you find yourself in a cemetery with a petition pastor, they're probably looking for Democrats. So make sure we catch you on the road for Republican signatures here out and about.
Exactly. Dan Calkins from Decatur. Closing thoughts.
Great to be with everyone this evening. Thank you for joining us. This is an exciting time for every candidate in Illinois. So please help us get our candidates over the hump here with petitions and get us on the ballot here in March for the primaries. Right. And also, I want to echo Colin's review here of our town hall meetings. Been an amazing reception. People have come out to hear us and look at our slides and talk to us. I get people all the time commenting, "Well, we saw you in Bloomington, or we saw you in Geneva." This is a great opportunity, folks, to connect with your state reps and hear maybe a different point of view than you'll get from the news. So, thanks again for putting this together, Brad. I will be signing your petition as you are my state rep, and as one of your precinct committeemen. I'm going to be getting out, boots on the ground here, and get a whole bunch of signatures for you.
Excellent. Dan, I've got your picture posted in a prominent place in my home, and so I appreciate that. And so that's what we need. Ladies and gentlemen, this is your opportunity to participate in this process, become a precinct committeeman. If you're not, or renew that commitment to be a precinct committeeman and help us get signatures, or help your favorite candidate, whether it's us or someone else or a congressperson, help us to get these signatures. They've got to be done by mid-November so we can file right after Thanksgiving. And again, we always covet that you would like and share and follow and subscribe to our content. Tell your friends and neighbors about it as we attempt to overcome the big tech overlords and the algorithmic gods. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, let's close out, and we will see you on the campaign trail. Thanks again, and have a great evening.